Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode here, Banish the Doubt. My name is George McNamara. Welcome. Thank you to all of the subscribers to my channel. Another year. Happy New Year. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. All the new subscribers, welcome. We welcome you here to our family. This is going to be another prosperous, amazing, amazing year. And I want to start off with this first video of the new year. I die daily. It's a passage from the Bible. And what it means is it's not I die daily as far as each day. What they were referring to is in each moment. And I'm going to illustrate here in the video what exactly that means. We're going to kind of take it apart and analyze it and show how once we are able to introduce this into our life, our daily life, amazing, amazing changes will take place in your life. I'm talking about riches. I'm talking about better health, better relationships. First, starting off first with yourself. And then as that relationship with yourself blossoms, everything else, like the beautiful rose, starts the fragrance, if you will, starts to take off, and you start to emit this energy. So let's get right into it started. Okay, so A Course in Miracles says there's no link of memory, okay, to the past. You create it. Now, how do we create the past? Whatever we're thinking about in this moment creates our past and creates our future, because there is nothing other than right now, this very moment, right now. So however you are thinking about last year, we're creating that past right now, because there is no such thing as last year. Okay? Anything that maybe didn't take place or what have you over the holidays, as you talk about it in this moment, you're creating that past. Anything that you are, quote, going to worry about in the future, you're creating that future. This is why A Course in Miracles says that. Okay? It is a skill then that can remember now. This is big, very big from that book, A Course in Miracles. Okay? It's a skill that you can remember now. Your unlimitedness, your wishes are fulfilled. It's all within you. It's a skill to remember that you are everything that you, whatever desire you have, it is finished. Because remember, creation is finished. So it's finished. As soon as you announce that desire, it is finished. The only thing that stops or prevents us is our own thinking. And it's in our own thinking in each and every moment. So again, I die daily means in each moment, it's about dying to the old self, the old beliefs, the limitations, the assumptions, definitions, and your perceptions, how you perceive yourself, how you perceive this life in this moment. It is being outpictured in your world at every single moment. Hold on to nothing, A Course in Miracles says. So you let go of everything. There is nothing that anybody outside of us, any circumstance, any person says or does that affects us. All it ever does is it underscores, or like a highlighter. Okay, if you're highlighting something in a book, you're highlighting the word or the phrase that's already within you. That's all that they're doing. They're highlighting that it's already within you. Okay, so now I want to talk about the cross. Okay, we're coming out of the Christmas season, right? And Jesus dying on the cross. I want to talk about it from a different perspective, though, in this video, from a metaphysical perspective. So the cross, right, the vertical part, the part that goes up, is referencing the upward movement, your I am awareness, and your detachment. That's what that part of the cross represents, our detachment from the old beliefs, the limitations. Again, you're going to hear me keep talking about these. Your beliefs, your assumptions, your thoughts, and your the way you perceive things. Okay, so it's the beliefs, definitions, assumptions, and our perceptions. How we perceive is not life, it's our self. Everything comes back to self. Okay, everything comes back to the skill that can remember who we are, because it's kind of like um, if you're, it's who you are on the inside. Who you are on the inside behind the facade. It's kind of like the wizard. Remember, obviously, remember the Wizard of Oz, right? What did Dorothy and the lion and the tiger and the scarecrow find out? It was an illusion. There was nothing to fear. There was nothing to hold on to. It was the man behind, right? So that is who we are at our core, is perfect, is light. It's why Jesus said, I am the light of the world. You have that light inside you. That is who you are, your core. Everything else is just a facade. Everything else is just a perception, a definition, a belief, an assumption. So that is the upward movement of the cross. The part going across of the cross is our resistance to what I just talked about, our resistance to this, our attachments to the 3D world, our desires and lack and limitations. It's our holding on to that. It is the, when I say detachment, I don't mean detachment from your desire. What we're talking about is the detachment from the lack, the feeling of lack, that it's not going to happen. It's somehow or other, it's not going to work out. That's what we detach from. You don't detach from putting forth the effort, because it's an inspired effort. You probably have heard this question in the past. If tomorrow you woke up and everything that you wanted and any desire you had was guaranteed to happen, to come to fruition, what kind of inspired action? But they said, but the key would be you have to take action. It's guaranteed to happen, but you got to take action. The amount of time it takes is none of your concern, but it is guaranteed to happen. The only thing stopping you from that moment and then realizing whatever that desire is to come into your 3D world, into you can see it, feel it, and touch it, is your trust in yourself, is the inner conversation you've been having with yourself up until this point in your life. It is, so when we're talking about this part of the cross, the resistance and the attachment is, I've got to work harder. I've got to sacrifice my family, right? How many times have you heard about this? People creating all kinds of success, and I put success in air quotes, but they're empty inside, right? Because they really were not fulfilled internally. This is the flip of that. This is understanding internally we're already fulfilled, and that everything external to us will, like I mentioned, the rose blossom the more we trust that inner guidance within us. So that's what the cross represents. It's a metaphysical death. It does represent a death, yes, but it's a metaphysical death, a death of the old thinking, the old man, as the Bible talks about, and the renewing of, or the attaching to, and the allowing of, and the trust in that vertical movement, the upward movement, the I am awareness, allowing that to, like the rose, blossom. Okay, like let the flower take, like the seed, and all you have to do is water, right? Water the seed and give it plenty of sunlight, give it plenty of attention, awareness. So that's what we're talking about here with the cross. Hold on to nothing. I think the Course in Miracles says there's no link, okay, of a memory to the past. We create everything. And it is a skill that can remember now that we are unlimited, we have unlimited potential, our wishes are already fulfilled, and everything resides within us. Now, this quote is from Neville. It says, man, or today, a person, they must die to that which they are before that they can become that which they desire to be. Okay, again, he says here, man, he must die to that which he is present. The attachment to 3D, the resistance, the desires, lacks, limitations, before he can become that which he desires to be. That's right from one of Neville Goddard's books. So remember, going forward from this point on, we learn to detach ourselves from these limiting beliefs, these doubts, these fears, these anxieties, all of that. And we learn to trust in that inner guidance that's within us. We learn to attach ourselves, become more aware. And the awareness, it really is just a belief. Now, there is only one emotion in this universe, okay? It is source. There's one emotion only. I exist and will always exist as source. That's an affirmation for you. Can you believe it, however? Can you believe that I exist and will always exist as source? Can you believe that? Because we are here on this earth to manifest. We are here to manifest things such as money, love, relationships, homes, cars, boats, whatever it is you can think of. We have come here to manifest all of that. Okay? We're here as source to order whatever it is we want. Kind of like placing our order. Once we place it, once we have a desire, right? We don't go to a restaurant and the waiter comes out, right? It'd be like source energy coming out saying, "Excuse me, what would you like?" And then you place your order and they leave. And then you sit and you fret and you say, "Oh my God, I don't know. I'm not so sure this is going to come out. Are you sure it's going to, the chef's going to, what kind of chef is back there? Is he going to cook it right?" No, we just place our order. And we sit in expectation that we know it's going to be prepared exactly the way we expect it to be. So same thing. We are here as source to order what we want. Again, one emotion, okay? Source, love, gratitude. That is the emotion. That is just one overriding emotion in the universe is source. However, that source energy, that emotion is put through our thoughts, the filter of our thoughts, our assumptions, our beliefs, our definitions, and our perceptions. Again, the A, B, D, and P. It's put through that filter. On the other side, then, it limits what that energy is, what that emotion is. That one emotion is limited and it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel as good as when we have our emotion or where we link to that emotion of source energy, love and gratitude for everyone and everything. It doesn't feel so good because it's going through these assumptions, these beliefs and definitions and perceptions, what we are linking to the 3D world. Okay. Remember, again, I'm going to underscore this. Whatever it is that you're thinking about in the past, you just created it in this moment. Anything that we link to our past, everything we think about, we are creating in this moment. The body believes it's living in that emotion, okay, coming through these thoughts and assumptions and beliefs and these gossiping and all that in the moment. This is why when we think about things that we don't like, when we talk about things such as there's more month at the end of the money, and we focus on that, when we focus on anything negative in our life, in our relationships, about work, about coworkers, whatever it may be, whatever type of chemical reaction that has within our system that creates a chemical reaction over a long period of time, it's why you hear about midlife crisis. People midlife getting a disease, a heart disease, cancer, whatever it may be, right? Because the body has been put through this filter. The source energy that's in our life has been put through this filter for 5 years, 10 years, decades, right? Constantly limiting this energy of love and gratitude that is omnipresent within our life and within the universe. So, again, I want to underscore this. Remember, there's one emotion, it's source, okay? The other, though, what I was talking about here, the 3D and all of that, that is the ego, okay? Again, beliefs, assumptions, thoughts, our perceptions, and our definitions. They're deeply ingrained. The ego is never really happy, okay? Each morning when we wake up, it says to us like, hey, sucker, it slaps another notice on our head. Here's a list of more things to send to me, okay? I feel insecure. Get me more of this and that. This is what the ego says to us, okay? We get something, right? And then what? It said, well, I'm not happy enough with that. I want something more. This is the ego compared to source. It always leans towards dysfunction. The ego is always focusing on what? Negative dysfunction, okay? Constantly faces outward, right? Doesn't it? We're always looking outside of us. That's the ego. It's always looking at another person. Well, when they change, then I'll be happy. How many times have you ever heard that? Maybe how many times in your own life have you said that, right? This coworker, I can't stand him or her. They have to change. What happened? They get fired, what happened, right? Or the boss. And oftentimes, what happens? Well, what's there's a song, right? I think it's by the group The Who. Says, here comes the new boss, same as the old boss, or something to that effect. But it's new boss, same as the old boss, because it's the ego constantly facing outward, bringing about a state of inner conflict that keeps us pursuing the gold stars it offers. Never, it needs to defeat others in order to feel more powerful, more toys, and more awards. So this goes to competition. This is why you'll see things like coaches or sport athletes getting back into what? The game. They can't leave because of the ego. The ego has them trapped. They can't get away from the roar of the crowd. They're never settled in source energy and who they truly are on the inside. This is the false self, right? Constantly puts pressure on us to compare with others. I mean, do I need to say anything more about that, right? When we refuse to listen, it shouts, you must be upset with others. Get ahead, who get ahead of you. I have to be first. So again, it says, when we refuse to listen, when we try to connect to source, it yells and shouts at us. You must be upset with others who get ahead of you. I have to be first. So that is the driving on the highway and somebody pulls in front of you, right? Let me just back this out a little bit. Right? So you're driving on the highway, going towards an exit, and somebody pulls in front of you, but you say they what? The ego says they cut me off. I can't allow that. Or those people, the way these people drive, right? Source energy, just let them go because I am content with who I am. I already am that person that I desire to be. It's already here. So this is the difference. This is recognizing in that moment we want to die to ourself, to the old self, right? These are the moments when we recognize and we become more aware. I'm going to die to that's the old self coming out. Now, we don't really have any negative energy, only the illusion. All negative energy comes from the ego. What we call a negative experience is merely a condition of the ego's opinion. Let me say that again. What we call negative experience is merely a contradiction of the ego's opinion. You want a pain-free life, and you trip and break your ankle, right? You want to be nice and warm, and it's a cold rain outside. It is a contradiction of the ego's opinion. Emotional pain, remember this, emotional pain is always self-inflicted. Any kind of pain, anytime you're looking to lash out at somebody else, it is self-inflicted. You're doing it to yourself. You're bringing more of that. What you wish on somebody else, you're bringing more of that to yourself. Because remember, this life, your reality is nothing more than a mirror, mirroring back to you exactly how you feel about and talk to yourself. If you want anything out there to change, you change the conversation, the dialogue within, and then the external, the 3D world changes. If today were your last day on earth, the only tragedy then would be if you never allowed yourself to really live life. I die daily in every moment. I recognize and I die to the old man, as the Bible says, the old self, the self of limiting beliefs, the beliefs that say, I can't have whatever it is I desire, the assumptions that I'm not good enough. Our family, right? You fill in the blanks. The perceptions, how you perceive this year to be. In the definitions, how do you define yourself? Do you define yourself linked with the ego? Or you define yourself linked to that source energy that is omnipresent? The one thing I can guarantee you and promise you, the fears, the doubts, the limitations, all that are going to be here. They always are. But it's our perception of them and the allowance of that energy to filter through us. Because remember, life never happens to us. It happens through us. But the more aware we are of that, and that I'm going to deny, not in denial, but deny the fear, the doubt, the limiting beliefs, and continue focusing on whatever desire it is that I already have it. I just put forth the inspired energy and the inspired action, and it is a guarantee. It comes to me. It will appear in the 3D world. If I can live with that, if I can certainly live that way and live with knowing that I am living my best life right now, then I truly will live the life that I was sent here to live. This is how we become more aware and we die daily through those limiting beliefs. The metaphysical, when we look at the cross, and remember, it's a metaphysical death of the old self and us rising to that new consciousness. Thank you guys so much again. Welcome to all the new subscribers and the existing subscribers. Thank you so much again for going into this new year. If anybody would like any personal one-on-one coaching, I'm offering that on my channel now. Feel free to go ahead and click on the link and schedule a time, and I'd be happy to to work with you on anything that's particular in your life that you would like some assistance with. Thank you guys so much, and God bless.